It's new comic book day at the comic book store, and as you can see, there's no one here. It is dead. This is not a good sign for new comics. I'm looking at back or issues of Hawkman. I was trying to look and see what the cover was, and I noticed, look at this. All they have is this variant cover, the $4.99 cover, just a stack. Not a single one of the regular cover. And then they have 2 issues of number 13, one of each. But this is not what you do, DC. Charging an extra $1 for comics on an already hurting comic that can't sell numbers. That's not how you get new readers.
3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and it's Ash Wednesdays. That's right. Everyone's favorite day of the week is Wednesday, right? Hump Day. This is my 3rd episode under the new name Ash Wednesdays, where basically I talk about the new comics I got from the comic book shop. I make fun of Marvel for all the ridiculous number ones, and maybe it's my opportunity just to talk about what's on my mind. So joining me as always, we got Stan the Man. Rest in peace, my friend Stan. Yeah, I know you're right there. Never mind, it's a long story, buddy, but thanks for being here. And Forky. How can we get Forky? Forky is our channel intern. He's a resident expert on all things trash, and we're glad to have him. He always brings a smile to our face and reminds us that we're important. All right, let's just get into Wednesday at the comic book store. First of all, I was at the comic book store today, and it was dead. Like, there was no one there. I pulled the parking lot, and there's no one there. Now, I did get there a little bit later than usual. It's like, I think I got there around a little after 11. They open at 10. So it was, it was a little after, but dead parking lot, no one in the store. Weird. Absolute Carnage, Scream #1. So yeah, Absolute Carnage came out last week. We did a live stream with the Comics Aficionados. Normally that's hosted on Wes's channel. He had some technical difficulties. He wasn't able to do it. He gave us our blessing. He gave us his blessing to go ahead and let me host it on my stream as a guest time. It was a special honor. And I want to take this time also to shout out our boy Wes at Thinking Critical for recently breaking through the 1,000 subscriber barrier. That's a big milestone. I know it doesn't seem like much with the Ethan Van Skywers in the world and all this stuff. There's always a bigger fish, right? You can look at Ethan Van, Ethan's got 130,000 subscribers, a lot. Then you look at PewDiePie and he's got 90 million or something, okay? Like, there's always a bigger fish. I guess unless you're PewDiePie, then there's not a bigger fish. But 1,000 is a big deal. When you start off, I'm not even halfway to 1,000. When you start off and you're nobody, and you're just on YouTube talking out of your butt like I do, why does anyone want to listen to you? So building a subscriber base from nothing is a big challenge. Unless, if you bring over some sort of celebrity, obviously if you're like, I don't know, someone popular like The Rock, I know he's probably got a, I don't know, but if he wanted to, like, I'm starting a YouTube channel, he would just have hundreds of thousands of followers instantly. I'm just talking if you're just a nobody schmo like me, just gets on, you want to do some YouTube videos, you're just out there in the ether amongst millions of other people doing content and stuff. The fact that people even have found my channel astounds me. The fact that people have watched my channel and then come back for more really humbles me. So if you're watching this right now, I really want to thank you. It's a big deal that Wes hit 1,000. Congratulations, Wes. Thank you for letting me be a part of everything that you're doing over there. Letting me be one of the original aficionados since day one. I love your channel. I shout it out whenever I can, and I'm looking forward to your he's having a special 1,000 celebratory stream. He's got some really special guests on there that I could never land. So good for him. Watch that channel. Anyways, back to the regularly scheduled program. Let's make fun of Marvel Comics. Absolute Carnage, Scream. So I was saying that Absolute Carnage came out last week, and it's a good book. As much as I dreaded having to support Marvel and their bullshit tactics, the book itself was good, really good. But look at this. Next week, we have another Absolute Carnage #1 book. And then followed, oh, look, another Absolute Carnage #1 book. We got Scream #1, Separation Anxiety #1. Wow, just, Marvel's just cannot stop the predatory practices. They are just stepping on the gas. You're like, my wallet, I've already donated plasma this month. I can't, just cough it up more. I don't know what they expect. Gwenpool's now back. Gwenpool Strikes Back. She's got a #1 issue. Why does she ever leave? Like, she's a huge hit, right? She's a great character. She's just a Heather Antos wannabe. I don't understand why this character exists. Anyways, Silver Surfer, one of my all-time favorite surfer classic characters, created by your boy over here. Silver Surfer has no #1. The Prodigal Son. What a clever name. This is very interesting. So Marvel is doing this. We make fun of Marvel doing all these #1s, right? But it's more than just good fun. You need to ridicule bad things so that they don't continue. I want to ridicule Marvel of these practices. These #1s are bad enough. But Prodigal Son is #2 in a 3-issue series. That's right. This is the 2nd issue. But look at the number. #1. Marvel is moving towards the practice of all #1s. You're going to get a title, a name and a title, and it's going to be #1, and then it's going to be part blah, 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 of whatever. It's stupid, because once you do that, ones have no value, and you've just destroyed your gimmick in the first place. But Marvel doesn't care. They are a sinking ship. They're in their death throes, and they will do whatever they can to make their numbers and hopefully not get fired by Disney corporate. I don't know. Look, a new Punisher series. Punisher Kill Crew #1. Because now the all-new Punisher runs around with Conan, and he apparently slays demons now. He's not even Punisher anymore. I don't know. Speaking of Conan the Barbarian's got a new #1. That's right. Conan the Barbarian now has 5, count them kids, 5 comic books. But Ash, I don't count them. Okay, let's think about it. Conan the Barbarian. Savage, is it Savage Sword of Conan or just the Savage Conan? One of those two, right? Then we've got Conan the Barbarian, or Age of Conan Belit, right? Well, that's not really Conan. It's as Age of Conan. If his name is in the title, it's a Conan book. That's 3. Okay, well that's this 3, Ash. What's the other one? Right here. Age of Conan Valeria, #1. 4. 8. Conan the Barbarian Exodus #1. 5. Here's the prices. They're not super outlandish this time. They're only 2 $4.99 books. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, what do we got down here? Oh, look at this. Immortal Hulk Director's Cut #1. What does that say? $5.99? Are you out of your mind? It's a reprint. $35.92 is the total for today. So you can get all 8 new #1 books out from Marvel. That's more than I spent on my entire pool, and this is a big week for me. Oh, man. Oh, boy. All right, before my burger gets any colder and Bats makes fun of me, let's just skip right to the burger unboxing before I keep going on about other things. This is my favorite part. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is a smiling burger. I talk about smiling. In-N-Out has this policy. All their burgers should smile. They stick it in the bag, and then it should open up. And they call that smiling. Look at that. The melted cheese, lettuce, tomato, pickles. And then I get ketchup and spread together. Normally they put ketchup on the top bun, but I get ketchup on the spread. Every time it confuses them, they don't understand why. They're like, why are you putting ketchup on? It tastes different. I want the ketchup mixes with the spread and makes it tangier. If you put it on the top bun, then you bite in, you get a spread flavor, you get ketchup flavor, but they're separated. It's different. I know, I'm a weirdo, but I worked at In-N-Out for 4 years, and I just have to have my burgers a special way now. This isn't the only way I like it. This is just my common one. So I'm going to eat this right now, and then we're going to get into comics. Look, there's my comics. Ooh, Marvel Comics 1000. Can't wait. All right, welcome back. That was a good burger. What did you think, Stan? Yeah, Forky, you like it? Good. What'd you give me to drink today? Coke, yeah. Nothing washes down an In-N-Out burger like Coke. All right, before we move on to the comics and the gummy bears. Oh, look at this. My store sells the gummy bear 5-pound bags, and they sell them cheaper than Amazon. So I was like, yes! And so I just did a little baggie of gummy bears. Hashtag Candygate. It's real. Milky Ways. Don't subject yourself to Milky Ways as candy. Enrich your life. Explore better candies out there. If you like chocolate, there's good chocolate out there. If you like sweeter, if you like fruit flavor, like candy, it's not chocolate, not a milky candy. Gummy bears are the best. Black Forest are the best of the best, even though Bats disagrees. And you try this. If you get some Black Forest, I'm talking to you, Breen. Listen. Get some Black Forest gummy bears. Stick them in the refrigerator for a couple hours till they're nice and cold. Not frozen. You don't want them frozen. That will just, put them in the fridge. They're cold. They're going to come out. You're going to feel like, they feel kind of hard. But don't worry. They're just going to be nice and chewy, and the flavor is going to be enhanced. It's weird. Normally, heat enhances flavor, but someone on the internet, I saw this by happenstance, and Breen, do it. You notice something about Candygate. I have talked about Milky Ways on my channel. I've actually eaten Milky Ways on the channel. I've tried all the different ones. You don't ever see those Milky Way guys eating anything else. That's because they don't have good taste. They only like Milky Ways. Gummy fans like many types of candies. We just recognize gummies are the best. Right? Yeah. Forky and Stan agree. Take my word for it. All right, so I want to talk real quick about Discord. I talk about my comments all the time. This is my Discord server. It's called Comic Talk because I couldn't think of a better name. I am open to better ideas. These over here on the left, this is other servers. If you're new to Discord, you haven't ever come. I'm going to do a video on this, but just real quick, when you join Discord, you're going to see server list. Stupid camera. You're going to see a server list on the left. This is what it looks like on the iPad. Looks a little bit different on a phone. Looks a little bit different on a PC, but mostly the same. The big difference on a phone is that you don't have the side screens. You don't get either one. You have to swipe. On an iPad, it's a little bigger, so you get one of them. On a PC, you see both. Over here is the channel listings. There's two types of channels. You got voice channels and you got text channels, right? So you can be logged in to a voice channel like so. Then you connect to voice, and then anyone who also is logged into that particular voice channel can hear you, right? It's like a phone call. There's separate voice channels so that different groups of people can be logged in and talk and not talk over everybody. Then the text channels are separate. So you can be logged into one voice channel and one text channel at the same time. So if everyone's logged into voice channel, we can all talk, blah, 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 but we can type into different text channels. You have to go to that channel. So like there's a general channel, and you'll see, and there's topics. And the reason for the different text channels is just to separate the topics so that it's not just one giant wall of this mess of stuff. So if you want to talk about Marvel Comics, you can go to the Marvel Comics channel. If you want to talk about indie comics, there's an indie comics. Maybe you want to talk about movies. That way it's not just all cluttered everywhere. Also, you can filter out if there's channels you don't want. If you're like, I don't want to hear anyone talking about Comicsgate, well, you can just mute that channel. You won't see anything from that, right? But you'll still catch everything else. Then I have my own section here for my channel. Comics Quirks partners with me. He's got his own little thing going on down here. And so, like, one of the things I have on mine is my recommended list. And I'll just cover here. These are the books that I recommend. If you're like, Ash, what books should I add? Just because you see me pulling a comic on my pull list does not necessarily mean that's a comic I recommend you buy, right? So this list is comics that I recommend. If you're like, I don't know where I should start, what should I do? Here's a list of all the good DC books that you can pick up and they're going to be quality, right? So you just have to base it on now your taste. If you go, I like Batman. What Batman book should I get? Here they are, right? If you go, I hate Shazam, I think he's stupid. Well, then don't buy Shazam. Like, it's a quality book. It's Jeff Johns, but you don't have to buy everything. You know what you like. Marvel, you got Daredevil, Silver Surfer Black, Spider-Man Life Story, and Venom. And you can pretty much trust whatever Donny Cates is doing, but he's doing something magical on Venom. Image, I got Ascender, Birthright, and Oblivion Song, and IDW, Sagio Jumbo, because Stan Sakai is a master. And so there's different things. Ash on Comics, here's all the comics that I do, my YouTube. If you follow my YouTube, you can do this, but if you're just like, oh, here's a list, whatever, come join the conversation, talk to us. You don't have to use voice if you're shy, or if you just don't want to for whatever reason. That's totally fine. You can just come talk. It's a place where you're free from all the weirdness of Twitter, and you'll be able to free to talk your mind. Keep it civil and PG-13, if you please. That's I definitely believe in free speech. I'm not out to ever censor anyone, but we are trying to keep a semi-clean, non-hateful environment. So that's all I have to say about that. Let's talk about Comixology. Now, I don't have any digital purchases this month, but if you're interested in new books, DC is doing a Rebirth sale. They were. I don't know where it went. I wonder if it ended. It would be my... yeah, there it is. Rebirth. And it's like 71% off. So Rebirth is where it's at for DC. If you're looking to get into DC, I say start at Rebirth. You can always go back before Rebirth after you find what you like. Because I know I can hear Sergeant Bass right now being, oh, great stuff. Yes, there's 80 years of DC history that's going to be overwhelming to a new person. If you're new, you're like, where can I just start and not be overwhelmed? Rebirth is perfect. Start with this book right here, DC Universe Rebirth #1. It's by Jeff Johns, 84 cents. This is fantastic. It's going to bring tears to your eyes. Then, every one of these books that you see here, Batman, Superman, Detective, all these guys, there is a Rebirth #1 version of those books. So you're just like, curious about Superman. Well, read the Superman Rebirth #1. Then the series starts off. It'll be Superman #1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like right, normal. So you can get all these. Look right now, look at 84 cents. And then below is the graphic, the trade paperbacks. There's a lot of great stuff. And look at all this stuff is on Unlimited too. So if you're not even wanting to buy, $5.99 a month, you can read most of this stuff on Unlimited. So there's a wealth of comics to read. So you can actually go and read right here, this book right here, Tom King's Batman, Volume 1 on Rebirth. The first 6 issues, Tom King wrote a really, actually awesome Batman story where Batman's a hero and there's action, and he like lands a commercial jet by standing on it with using his batarangs and his ropes. It's like in like steering the plane. This is amazing. It sounds stupid when you describe it, but it pulled it off. Superman, Peter Tomasi is the best. My favorite Superman. So anyways, I didn't buy anything. I have a lot of these already of trades. I'm still even like working. I bought so many trades on sales when I got Panic Comics. This is my DC. And then I'm exploring backwards. I got the Scott Snyder New 52 Batman run. I got some of the darkest, the Blackest Night series stuff. I'm not going to go into it too much. I just want to bring your attention to, if you're interested in checking out DC and you're like, I don't know what to go, this is a person who is relatively new to DC, not new to comics though, where I think you dip your toes in. It's the shallow end of the pool. And then you know where to go from there. So finally, let's talk about YouTube, the YouTubers. So while I was eating my burger, I was watching my boy Wes, another shout out. He's got his video, Marvel Comics October releases. He's covering the solicitations for October. I did a video like this, a big 2-parter. It was super long. My apologies. It got way out of control. I recorded the thing fully 2 separate times because the first time I didn't have my mic plugged in for the second half, and this audio was shit. And then I did the second time, and I had interruptions and different things. I had to record different takes. That thing took days and days to put together, and it's just a simple, stupid video of me pointing a camera at a screen talking about comics. It should not have gone like that. It went out of control. If you're critical about it and you're just like, Jesus, what were you putting out there? I understand. I'm going to do better. But if you're just a person who likes to read the previews, the way I do my version of the video is I don't look at it ahead of time. I get it. I flip through the pages. You go along with me, and I see, oh, look what's on this page, Spider-Man, blah, blah, and I just give my reactions. That's what I do. So if you're going to read previews yourself, hey, you might as well do it with me. It's probably going to take you the same amount of time. But Wes curates his, of course, because Wes does things better. He plans it out. He scripts it. He does images and cuts and pastes and does... His is a lot cleaner, so if you need it to be brief, you're like, I don't got time for your shit, Ash. Here I am recommending you go to someone else's channel. No, honestly, I even watch Wes's stuff. So you can read mine for a more in-depth and see page by page the whole previews magazine, or you can get the highlights from Wes in a nice, clean, well-presented format. But what I wanted to talk about, actually, was Perch. He's got this video... Really, dog? Come on. Comic Shop and the Dollar Bin, why it may be bad. And I was surprised by this one. I was like, oh. Now, I'm going to caveat here. First of all, Perch is a really smart guy, and he's a comic book retailer. He knows his shit. So, this is a disclaimer. I am a comic fan, and I'm just a know-it-all, right? So, I'm just arrogant, know-it-all. This is my opinion. I'm not trying to say... by any means, like, Perch is wrong. He's probably right. I don't think he's got the whole picture. And the reason why I want to do this is because twofold. Number one, I just want to type a huge response out to Perch. But number two, just to give a different take, because I just like talking about comics. And this one kind of got me. And now Perch has a take from a retailer perspective of why it's good and bad. And his points are very valid. They're well argued. But I'm going to present, this is sort of an open letter to Perch about why I disagree, and it's from a customer standpoint. Now, you have to watch Perch's video to hear his arguments. I don't want to really go over, this video is going to probably be long enough as it is. So, I like the Dollar Bin. Well, of course you're the customer, you want cheap comics. Yes, that's right. I am. I'm the customer and I want cheap comics. Perch makes an argument how there's a double-edged sword that people really want things to be valuable, and we take pride in buying things that are worth something. And when you mark something down, you send a subliminal message essentially that this is trash and people don't want to buy trash. All fair points. That is true. I definitely recognize that. But comic fans also like deals. Comic fans, I think you're not giving enough credit to comics fans. Comic fans know that not every comic book is going to be worth $1 million, right? I'm talking about the collectors here. I have some of you guys that watch my videos, and you're saying like, Ash, what are you talking about? Like collecting, like who cares about the value of comics and stuff? And I understand. Some people just read the books. They don't think about it from a collector standpoint. But the industry really is based around collectability. It's like baseball cards or anything else, Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering is a game too, but the collectible factor is why comics really exist to this day. We all understand that our books, 90% of our books, whatever that number is, the vast majority are going to be worthless. So by that token, stop making me pay $4 or $5 per back issue for worthless books. Stop it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go fill my Tom King Batman holes and pay $4 or $5 for the shitty books. I just want to fill my holes, right? They're never going to be worth any money, but they're sitting in the back issue bin at my comic book store, and they don't move because no one wants to pay that price. They should be in the dollar bin. Oh, it's trash, and people don't want to buy trash. You're right. They don't. That's why quarter bins, he talks about quarter bins as well. Geez, I haven't seen a quarter bin in forever. You're definitely not going to see that in Southern California, maybe in smaller town USA. I would love that. We need that. We need to be able to buy comics cheap. If I'm buying comics new off the shelf, I'm already giving a ton of money towards this industry and this hobby. And I know the LCSs don't make a ton of money off of that and everything. It's all slim margins and things, but the purpose of the dollar bin and the quarter bin, whatever, is to liquidate your excess stock. Get it out of here. I am more than happy to pick up trash books for a quarter, right? Or $1 sometimes. Let it happen. I know you're signaling, because we're not that stupid. We're not saying, oh, well, comics aren't worth anything, we're not going to leave. We're going to continue we're going to feel happy that amongst the $30 in comics we're buying, I'm just speaking to me personally, every week, when new books come out, but I can walk away with also a handful of these cheap dollar books, and fill my collection out with things that just mean something to me. I don't need them to be worth a ton of money. Sometimes I just see books and I'm like, oh, this is special to me. I don't care that it's $1. So this is an important thing. I don't think you should discount that. Now, if a customer comes in and they only want dollar books and they don't ever want to buy new books because they've got this devaluation in their head, they feel, well, I guess comics aren't worth anything, I shouldn't really pay money. That's a true thing, but these people weren't going to really buy comics anyway, right? Real collectors buy these books. We're paying overpriced cover prices anyways. Throw us a bone. That double-edged sword, I don't believe really exists. It helps you get rid of your stock, so you're cutting your losses, and customers get to walk away with value. We get dollar books. There's value in that. Just in the entertainment, not necessarily the collectability. And every once in a while, dollar books become something. People love hunting through dollar bins and hoping to find those treasures. Remember, New Mutants 98 used to sit in a dollar bin, right? So it's important. Dollar bins are really important. I don't think Perch considered all angles. And this is my point. And I really feel they're valuable, and I believe it needs to be reconsidered. And I've spent way too much time talking about that. Here's some of the videos I've been watching. Man, RJ at the Fourth Age. Whew. If you want comic talk, like just culture war philosophy, but not like angry, not like damn the SJWs, just why are they doing this? This analysis of the culture war. RJ is so good. I urge you to watch some of his videos. It's this one right here, 2004 through 2005, is like the best time for comics. That's a good one. And let's see, what else am I watching? Oh, this guy I've seen him before, but whatever, he went down the memory hole, and he got reminded to me. Rageaholic, also known as Razor Fist. Holy crap. This guy's funny. He talks about a lot of times comics. He also talks about movies, a lot of geek culture stuff, sometimes relevant news, but he knows how to rant, and he's funny, and give this a try. You'll just be, And then Steven, I post on Twitter. I don't normally watch Steven Crowder, but when I do, it's because he's on fire. This video on Epstein is Steven at his best. And then also, this was a special one. Just Some Guy is one of the best comic YouTubers out there, just quietly out there. I say quietly out there making videos, but then he's got 50,000 subscribers, so I'm like, I guess it's not that quiet. But he just kind of feels like he's quietly out there. It's not, maybe it's because he's not just all over social media. I don't know. He's just got a very quiet personality. He's just himself. He's not getting in people's faces. But he makes great stuff. And this one was very different. He just did his top 10 albums. And I was like, oh, I haven't seen you do a video that's not comics. So I decided to watch it, and it was enthralling. He knows his music, his choices. While I didn't agree with all his choices, every single choice was respectable. If you like music, you like Just Some Guy, why wouldn't you like Just Some Guy? Check this out. I was thoroughly enthralled with the video. So that's me wasting time on this video. I didn't have a big topic to talk about. Gummy worms. Did I say gummy worms? I meant gummy bears. The reason why gummy bears are better than gummy worms is because each one is an individual flavor. If you get gummy worms, they're a mix of two flavors across the worm. And while gummy worms are fantastic in their own right, if I want to mix flavors, I can do it myself. See, yellow and orange, or green and red. See, I can just do my own mixes. I don't need to have it forced upon me, gummy worms. Oh, look at this. Marvel Comics 1000. This is the most embarrassing. All right. As always, show your receipts. The SJWs who don't buy comics will always try to insinuate that you don't buy comics either, which is normal. It's called projection, when you assume that other people think the way that you do. It's called projection, and it's a natural human thing to do. We relate to the world and we think other people see the world the same way we do. But so here's my receipt. Check it out. It's less. I would not have been able to buy every single number one of Marvel. Just the number ones from Marvel cost more than this. I'm trying to get down to $25, and I can't do it. It's tough. But let's start off with Independence. Sagi Yojimbo. Woo! What can I say about this? This is not a great jumping on book, unfortunately. I don't know why. I guess Stans has been doing this for 30 years. You know, like, he's not thinking about, I want to introduce new readers to Usagi Yojimbo. I think IDW maybe should have pressed that and said, hey, Stan, write an origin story. Something we're new. This story is like for fans of Usagi who know who all the characters are and have read some of the previous books. And if you're not, you're just, not that you're going to be lost. You're going to understand the story. Stan doesn't write these super sophisticated, pretentious storylines. They're very simple, classic tales of adventure. The reason why Usagi Yojimbo is so good is because the characters are so great, and they are simple stories. They're not simpleton stories. They're simple in the fact that they're just very elegant. They're not weighted down with fluff or complexity. It's a tale of, a character having an adventure in a foreign land you don't know. It's based on feudal Japan. Stan, who is Japanese American, uses this to do tons of research on feudal Japan and constantly is introducing you, the reader, to history and lore and culture and different things in the books. So you get these cool adventures of Usagi as this Ronin samurai, and he's wandering the lands and the characters he comes across. But then you also get to learn things about Japanese culture and so forth through the book. But it's done in a very effortless way. Like, you don't feel like you're being taught, but you feel like you're just witnessing it, so you come away understanding something. And then the back of the book, he'll have like a couple paragraphs where he talks about it. And those are all really neat, but you don't have to read those. I know I'm not making this sound very interesting, but you just have to read Usagi. Don't start here. Start at the Fantagraphics first trade. Fantagraphics, the first trade. Usagi Yojimbo learning from his master as a small rabbit, who's this lion guy. Yeah, great stuff. Anyways, I'm a massive geek. Usagi Yojimbo is one of the best comics, in my opinion, in the history of comics. I just feel really bad because I hype it up, and then people who like Sergeant Bats, who doesn't really know Usagi Yojimbo, gets on, he's like, I don't know, and I'm just like, oh no, this wasn't the one for you to come on. Speaking of independent comics, here we are with Oblivion Song number 18. Can you believe it's 18 already? Jeez. This is a plot-heavy comic book. By that I mean there's just a lot of plot going on in here. every issue it's unfolding something new and about the story. This is not necessary. I mean, it is a character-driven story. It's very much like Walking Dead, where there's this massive ensemble of characters. But the reason you read it isn't because you fall in love with the characters so much. You might, but you read it because there's this dense plot and this world building and what the heck is going on, and it's slowly being unveiled to you issue after issue, and you're just like, you think you know what's going on, and then you read the next issue and you're like, oh my god, I didn't see this coming, where's it going? So if you like plot heavy storylines like that, Oblivion Song is for you. And it's not zombies. It's a little bit of, I don't want to say horror, but there's some like horrific elements, but not really. It's just by the nature of there being weird alien weird things out there. It's not really like it's scary, but it's so good. Now on to DC. We're going to start off with Flash. If you're new to this channel, I don't buy Flash for me. I buy this for my friend's his little daughter. She's like 10. Her favorite character is Flash, and I like to encourage comic books. And she showed interest in having Flash comics, so I just pick up an issue every 2 weeks. Good Lord, comes out so much. But also, I am a fan of Joshua Williamson, and he's quietly just sitting there writing one of the best DC books. He's one of the better writers. He will be doing the Batman Superman book coming out, and he also does Birthright, which I collect, which is awesome. Justice League Odyssey by Dan Abnett. We miss you on Aquaman, but hey, at least we got you on a different book now, Justice League Odyssey. And he's doing some fun stuff over there. Batman and the Outsiders. Now here is a book that I desperately want to love. It's, who's the creator? I don't see it listed. Brian Hill. And Dexter Soy is the artist. Used to be on Red Hood. Now, I'm not really a fan of Dexter Soy, but I don't need to be because everyone else seems to be a fan of Dexter Soy, so that's fine. I am a fan of Brian Hill, both as a person, as a professional, and as a writer. I really liked his short run on Detective Comics. So I was expecting, Batman the Outsiders, especially with all the delays. I was like, Batman the Outsiders would be great. It continues off that run of Detective Comics. And it's just not as good. It even features my favorite villain, Ra's al Ghul. And the first 3 issues, I'm just like, they're not bad, right? They're not like, this is terrible comic writing. It's just very average. It's just very run-of-the-mill fill-in writer type stuff. I'm like, okay. I really like Brian Hill writing Batman, and Batman's really not part of this book. It's mostly The Outsiders. This book should be called The Outsiders. But Batman is the name that sells, and so that's what it is. I don't hate the book. Like I said, it is on the chopping block. I might be getting rid of it just for budgetary reasons because it's like I said, it's just okay. It needs to pick up. It came off my recommended list. Not because it's bad, just because it's not good enough to where I'm like, you should be buying this. Buy it if you just love Batman and the Outsiders and you love Brian Hill, maybe. Detective Comics. This is a book I do really like. Tomasi has been doing some great stuff. It's been pretty consistent. It started off with a bang. I think one of the problems that some people are having with this book is it started off just, his run, was it 996, I think? Was just like, wow, and then it sort of dipped. And then he's been doing some one-shots, and it's just like, okay, it's been in like a holding pattern. And I'm curious to see how he's going to handle this Year of the Villain stuff, if it's going to turn out okay or if it's just going to be a distraction with what he's planning. But he's writing the best Batman book, ongoing. Speaking of best ongoing books, we have Hawkman. Now, I have abandoned the B covers, or so I thought, but the A cover to this book was atrocious. Oh my goodness. Like really? 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 Look at this. Oh, it's not that bad, Ash. No. Look. This is barely worthy to be a panel of a comic. cover should be more attention to detail. You shouldn't have all this empty space, negative space. And if you do, it should be for, this is just, look at this floating head. It's not well conceived. And this is basically DC editorial not giving a shit and just being like, oh, okay, I guess that'll do. Like, this is not, no. So, yeah. So I had to buy the cover, which is what I was doing with original Hawkman. I miss these nice, cool painted covers. But then DC had to go fuck everything up. All right, now we're into the Marvel time. Silver Surfer Black. Oh yeah, this is probably my most excited issue for today. I have been loving what Donny Cates is doing with Silver Surfer Black. Even more so since I went back and I binged most of Donny Cates' Marvel stuff, including and especially the Thanos Wins storyline. Wow. Spoiler, Silver Surfer appears in the Thanos Wins storyline in a capacity that I'm not going to say, but it relates to this, and it's if you know what I'm talking about, you're like nodding your head right now and going, yep. And if you don't, you need to go read Thanos Wins. This is one of the best I've seen Silver Surfer. I love what Donny Cates is doing. And speaking of Marvel, one final Marvel is Powers of 10, aka Powers of X, for those who are uninformed. What can I say? House of X #2 was, I don't want to say phenomenal. That's hyperbolic. But it was a mind bomb. Like, it was just like your head. What Hickman did there, just X-Men fans all over the planet were just like, what? So I think that's now sunk the hook in, and now it's the real. So we're going to see, does Powers of X continue that? I am very kind of excited to read this, and this is astounding to me because if you know me at all, you know X-Men is my bag. I was out of comics, out of actually buying comics, not as a fan, but just buying comics for about 20 years. X-Men was my jam. I had to leave. I was like, I just didn't like X-Men anymore, and it lost my joy of comics because when Claremont left, Marvel couldn't keep up the quality after a while. Scott Lobdell tried and did okay, but then Jim Lee left, Will Spatasio left. I think those guys actually brought some really good visionary stuff to X-Men. That's really underrated. Jim Lee, Brandon Choi, Will Spatasio, those guys had ideas, and they were doing great stuff with the X-Men, and Marvel dropped the ball. And Scott Lobdell tried to pick it up, Fabian Nicieza, but they're not visionary writers. They're staple writers, and they can do some good things, but X-Men was what it was because of visionary Chris Claremont. I haven't enjoyed X-Men since. I have read things like the Grant Morrison run. I read some stuff when I had the Marvel Unlimited subscription. It's not my X-Men anymore. I can't enjoy the thing. I gotta learn to watch the timer on my phone. I really just run long at the mouth. That was my phone cutting out. Only record 30 minutes of video for some reason. But suffice it to say, that's my cue to end this. This is a big deal that I like X-Men, that I'm excited about X-Men again. So kudos to Hickman for at least getting me here. Will you stick the landing? I hope so. The prognosis is very, very iffy with all these other books coming out alongside it. Dawn of X looks really shaky. But Hickman at least knows what he's doing here. It seems like this could all just be a big clusterfuck. I hope not, because I really want to like X-Men, and I'm liking so far. I'm really just trying to say, give it the benefit of the doubt, and let's see. So I'm spending a lot of money on this. $5 a week, it's $20 plus a month. It should not be this way. It should be a monthly book. But anyways, enough of that. Stan, Forky, say bye. Thank you for watching, and we all appreciate you. If you got this far, I thank you. It means a lot. I don't know which books are going to be the best this week? What do you think? You know, oh gosh, I can't even fit them all up on the thing. Let's see, Sagi's Oblivion Song. There's some good ones, man. I don't have any duds. Batman the Outsiders. I mean, when your worst book is Batman the Outsiders, that's saying something. That's, you know, we talk about the comic book industry being dead. It's got shit tons of problems, but you can find some good comics. So this is what I'm getting. I think Silver Surfer is going to be my pick. Could be Oblivion Song. Could be Usagi. This is part 3 of 3. We'll see. Thank you for watching. Put in your likes and subscribes. If you dislike, that's fine. You're free to dislike what you dislike. Just tell me why you disliked. Like, thumbing down my video and then not saying, hey, here's what you could do to be better is, to me, like, it doesn't help anything. It's just you just wanting to be, I guess, I don't know. Do what you want. But tell me what you like. Tell me what you're buying, what books are exciting you. And say whatever you want down, I guess, in the comments. But keep it peaceful. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. #ReadHawkman.